Hi, and welcome to my 3 a.m. diaries. And today I wanted to share my thoughts on hanging in there, especially when you're at that moment where you just want to give up. You've been doing something for a really long time and you're not seeing the results, you're not getting rewarded for it. Half the time you're feeling like a failure, you're questioning everything. Like things seem like they're in the too hard basket, and then around you on socials, it's like overnight successes are popping up left, right, and center. People are succeeding in things, and you're like, really? You start questioning yourself, should I really be doing this? And what I'd like to say is like, if you're passionate about it, hang in there. Your time is coming, because all these things that you're doing that you can't yet see are actually building a foundation. They're building roots, and it's what you will be supporting you when the time comes. And there's this quote I love by Steve Jobs that says, "You cannot connect the dots looking forward, you can only connect them looking back." And what that speaks to is all these things that you're doing at the moment that you're not seeing results of, and that's what makes you feel like quitting. They're actually connecting points. Like one day you'll look back and be like, oh my gosh, that thing that I thought I'd failed at or that I thought had no traction is the reason why this happened and this happened. And that's why you're standing here today with this on your plate and the physical manifestation of what you thought wasn't happening, you know? And in that in that same vein of building a foundation, and please don't quote me on this, but I think I've read somewhere that the taller the building, the deeper the foundation needs to go. So depending on what you're working on and how big your vision or how big your dream is, maybe that's what's happening right now. Like everything you're doing is just to build a really big, solid, strong foundation for the dream, for the big dream that you have. So that's one way of looking at it. Some of the things that I do or I've done when I feel, okay, this is all too hard, I want to stop. One, I go back and look at why am I doing this? I find my why and my reasons. And a lot of the time what drives me is like, it's not, yes, it is the why, but it's also what else would I be doing if not this? What other alternatives do I have? I'm like, I don't have a plan B. And yes, there are those moments like when I'm questioning it and I'm like, I want to quit. And sometimes I feel like, okay, maybe I'm just throwing a tantrum. I'm just throwing a tantrum because in the whole scheme of things, if I wasn't doing this, what would I be doing? And would I be feeling fulfilled? So finding my why or going back and reconnecting to my why and the reason why I'm doing this really helps. Then the other thing is, don't compare yourself to people, because what that does is it makes you feel less than. And I heard this somewhere or read this somewhere that every time you compare yourself to somebody else, you will find yourself lacking. That's human nature. So what I do is I have this thing of, I think they're called horse blinders, where I just put those on and I focus on myself, like stay in my lane, stick in my lane, and just run my race. And anytime when I come up to look around at what's happening, it's just more so to see, okay, what's fresh, what's out there, what's the vibe, what's the groove, as opposed to where am I in comparison to somebody who's doing something similar to what I'm doing. Yeah. And a third thing that really helps is listening to other people's stories. Just going on YouTube, finding successful people and listening to how they started, how they pushed through those moments when they wanted to give up. And then what I found in listening to these stories is that it feels so normal. Like every single one of them has gone through that process of wanting to give up. And then they just hung in there and they pushed through, and then their time came. So I find that really helpful. I'm just like, I'm not alone in this. It's normal. All I need, if I really want it, just hang in there and keep working. Just keep doing that one more thing, one more thing. And eventually I'll have a foundation of one more things that will lead to where I want to be. And then finally, take a break. Yeah, sometimes you just need to disconnect from everything, just unplug and just, yeah, put yourself in a void of, if it's a particular project, just don't think about it, don't write about it, just put yourself in a bubble and step away from it completely for a certain time and then come back. So what I've found in the times when I've done that, it's quite refreshing, because I come back with new thoughts, and then I'm excited again, and I've given myself, like, my body a break, because sometimes when you feel like giving up, it's not that what you're doing won't work, it's that you're exhausted, you're physically, mentally, emotionally exhausted, and you just need to look after yourself, take care of yourself, nurture yourself, give yourself some TLC, you know. And then you come back and you're feeling fresher, you have better ideas. And sometimes you find you pivot, you know, you were working on this and it was frustrating you, and you're thinking, yeah, it's you, but it was just the idea was never going to be good enough. So you pivot, you find other ways, you know, to do it bigger and better. So in those moments, I think I said enough. So in conclusion, if you feel like giving up, find things, find ways to work through it. And the four things that I've shared that work for me is, um, one, don't compare yourself to other people. Reconnect to your why. Number two, take a break. Number three, and four, learn from other people's stories. And yeah, that's it. I hope that helps, and would love to hear your thoughts on things that you've done when you felt like giving up. Ciao.